ABC joins us now from Berea, Ohio. And Daniel, Shedeur Sanders was held out of practice on Saturday with soreness in his throwing arm. What is the latest you can tell us about his availability for this week?
Yeah, Sanders spoke to reporters not too long ago and said he's all good after being held out of team drills for arm soreness. He said that he's perfectly fine. It was just a little bit of him adjusting to the practice cadence. Sometimes he's going in hot, getting a lot of reps. Sometimes he's not. He said he's looking forward to joint practices with the Carolina Panthers on Wednesday, as well as getting his first taste of NFL action, real NFL action, in the preseason over on Friday. And that's really important for Sanders, who notably is the only healthy quarterback in Berea who hasn't received first-team reps with the offense.
Interesting. So that first preseason game is probably going to tell us a little something about these quarterbacks. Meanwhile, we've got Kenny Pickett. He was limited in practice this past week due to a hamstring injury. So these quarterbacks a little banged up here, Daniel. What is the latest with Pickett?
Yeah, a team source told me this morning that Pickett is going to continue to be limited by that hamstring injury that cost him 3 straight practices. The past couple of days, he's just been limited to individual drills, throwing to wide receivers and running backs, but he's not yet completing or participating in 11-on-11s or 7-on-7s. Pickett actually spoke a couple of days ago, and he was very transparent and honest about what this injury is doing to him in this competition. He said, "You're always losing ground when you're not in that competition. Keep in mind, Pickett has been splitting first-team reps with Joe Flacco, so he's firmly in that quarterback race. He's limited right now."
Okay, so he's splitting first-team reps with Joe Flacco, and there are these 4 quarterbacks in this very crowded quarterback room. And with the first preseason game coming up, is there like a 1, 2, 3, 4? Is there an order at all to this?
Well, if you ask head coach Kevin Stefanski, they're still a ways away from establishing a depth chart, but there has been a hierarchy in terms of the practice reps. When we go out here and watch these practices, we're seeing Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, and a little bit of Dillon Gabriel split first-team reps. Shedeur Sanders has continued to lead the backup units, but again, they're still very early in this process, and we want to evaluate all these quarterbacks in different circumstances.
Interesting. Having them healthy will probably help too. Daniel, we appreciate it. Thank you. All right, we are exactly 1 month away from week 1, September 4th. Eagles are going to host the Cowboys, and the Eagles wrapped up practice actually this morning. Philly, by the way, refusing to call themselves the defending champs, rather that they have to prove it again. According to ESPN Analytics, the Eagles have the highest chance to win the Super Bowl at 10.9%. However, they are followed closely by the Chiefs, Bills, Ravens, all with a 9% chance or better. I don't know that that's super surprising. Excited to be joined by Sam Achu again. And look, the Eagles look to be dangerous, of course. I feel like when we talk about any football team this upcoming season, Eagles are at the top of our mind. Do you have any concern, though, that maybe there's this Super Bowl hangover for the Philadelphia Eagles?
I don't have a concern on the defensive side of the ball. I think that Vic Fangio and that defense is going to be elite. I played for Vic for 4 of my 9 NFL years, and I remember we would watch film for 30 minutes of just tackling the night before the game, right? Look at Jordan Davis. He's lost 26 pounds for that defense. My one concern is Saquon Barkley's health. That's it. The Philadelphia Eagles, when it comes to their offense, they're elite when they can run the football. Not just last year, but ever since Nick Sirianni got to the team. Them running the football has opened up their entire offense and also allowed the defense to get rest as well. Saquon had a career year last year. If he's not healthy, and we've seen issues in the past with Saquon's health, it could be a problem for Philadelphia because teams can hone in on the pass game. They won't be as worried about the run.
The change in offensive coordinator does make me nervous. The last time they had changes at the coordinator position, obviously they didn't live up to their full potential. However, if the Eagles were not able to defend that NFC crown, do you have 3 teams in mind you think could maybe overtake them?
The first one I would say would be the LA Rams. And the reason why is Matthew Stafford going on year 17 at quarterback. He has seen it all. We saw him take his team to the playoffs last year. We saw Matthew Stafford year after year not just get better, but stay consistent. No, by the way, the defense has some dogs as well. And so if anyone can match Vic Fangio and his schemes and the way he likes to disguise, it would be Matthew Stafford, Devontae Adams, the new addition, Puka Nacua. That's why I say the Rams. Number 2, give me the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, another team that has a top 5 offense. Well, let's go Commanders, right? Let's go Commanders, right? Let's go Commanders. Jayden Daniels, a team that played the Eagles last year in the playoffs, and they weren't able to make the plays when it mattered. You saw Philly force fumbles. You saw Philly make the plays when they needed to make them, and unfortunately, the Commanders weren't able to. I think that the Commanders are going to use that chip on their shoulder to try and prove a point. Not only is Jayden Daniels there, they have a new left tackle in town as well. And oh, by the way, Deebo Samuel is now a Commander. And last but not least, the last team I would say is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The reason why is their offense. Number one, yes, Baker Mayfield is playing like a top quarterback in the NFL. They also had a top 5 offense last year. They added Emeka Egbuka in the draft. If you listen to anyone who's watching the Bucs or talking about the Bucs, there's a high level of excitement with him. Chris Godwin when healthy, Mike Evans. So you have an offensive powerhouse. And oh, by the way, Todd Bowles is still one of the brightest defensive minds in all of football. He knows how to slow down that Philadelphia offense. So those are my 3 teams in no specific order.
You know what's crazy, Sam? I feel like we forget about the Buccaneers. They've just quietly won the NFC South 4 years in a row. There's so much consistency with that roster. Like, there's not a lot of battles going on position-wise. I actually like the call on the Bucs. They're just flying under the radar, ready to take on the Eagles. Sam?
So what exactly do you make of the Cowboys' urgency level regarding Parsons?
Yeah, it certainly doesn't seem very high from Jerry Jones' point of view. It's certainly not as high as everybody else wants it to be. Jerry is a guy that just a year ago said he was glad CeeDee Lamb wasn't here in training camp so he wouldn't get hurt. Now Micah is here, he is attending meetings, he has been on the practice field, he's not done anything. But in Jerry's mind, this is all part of the negotiation, and he enjoys the drama, enjoys the story, enjoys us talking about it. And we're in a situation now where we'll see when the team and the agent eventually get together. But Jerry dropped a hint on Saturday as to the deal that he believes he and Micah agreed to in March when he mentioned guaranteeing somebody close to $200 million. Now, he didn't get into the exact details of the rest of the deal, but when he throws that figure out, Jerry says he reached. Believe me, I reached, he said.
All right, we'll see what happens with that because obviously there's a lot of drama there. We know the fans were cheering for him. So where do things go now for Parsons and the Cowboys?
Well, it's really, you wait for them to start talking, as simple as that. But Micah has said he doesn't want to be here. Can that change? Myles Garrett said he didn't want to be a Brown, and 30 days later, he was still a Brown with a contract extension. You know, Jerry has a history of doing this with players, of making everybody wait, making us wait, and they eventually get things done. But I don't know. I thought the interesting part of Saturday's practice, Jerry has a perch in the middle of the field where he watches practice. Sitting on the grass underneath him was Micah. It was quite a juxtaposition of wanting Micah on the field and seeing where Micah was. And oh, by the way, the fans, they get let go at a few "we want Micah" chants.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll see some again today. When the Cowboys return to the practice field.
It's a very odd picture in my mind, just Jerry Jones and Micah Parsons, just the looming situation going on there. All right, we'll see what happens. Todd, thank you.
Sam Macho now joins us here on SportsCenter. And Sam, we've obviously seen this song and dance with the Cowboys and star players. You've been on teams where there's been holdouts to some star players before. And so at what point does this whole situation with Micah Parsons become a distraction?
It does not become a distraction for the players until Micah Parsons actually gets traded. We understand that the NFL is a business, and part of business negotiations is finding leverage. And the only leverage that Micah Parsons really has right now, outside of holding out, is demanding a trade. And so players are watching and saying, okay, we've seen this before, whether it's CeeDee Lamb or Dak Prescott, different players holding out or trying to negotiate. It's not a distraction. All that happens now is that younger players get a chance to get more reps, and the rest of the team waits until Micah Parsons gets signed. Now, if he in fact does get traded, then everything changes. Then the defense has to change. The coordinator has to think about how they adjust things. But as of now, this is business as usual.
Okay, so business as usual, but you did the if he does get traded little asterisk there. So if Parsons is going to leave the Cowboys, where do you think would be the best landing spot for him?
The Arizona Cardinals would be a perfect spot for Micah Parsons. The reason why is this. Jonathan Gannon runs a 3-4 defense. Their defense has been getting better year after year after year. Imagine adding Josh Sweat and Micah Parsons each on one side with Budda Baker on the back end. This would turn this defense into an elite level defense in an NFC West that has opportunities for teams to rise. Last year, the Cardinals got better. The year before, they struggled. This year should be the year where the Cardinals make a statement. And if Micah Parsons on that defense, where defensive ends, really outside linebackers in a 3-4, must dominate if you want to win, that could take the Cardinals to a whole different trajectory.
Okay, I agree with everything you just said. I just want to be sure it has nothing to do with, I don't know, this football here, that has Cardinals, or the helmet. I just want to double check.
Maybe a little bit of something there. It's a helmet, something over there. No, but seriously, like, if you study Arizona, you realize that the team is getting better, and they went and got Josh Sweat. They went and got some different players in free agency on the defense side of the ball. Nick Rallis, the defensive coordinator. This Cardinals team with Parsons could be special if the trade does in fact happen.
I agree with you. Also the red jacket. All right, Ted Macho, thank you.